Okay, people, so it looks like we got some good news and some bad news in the world of anime and manga, in particular with series like Black Clover, Bleach / Solo Leveling Talk, Dragon Ball Super related stuff, because when it comes to Black Clover in particular, some fans are upset, a lot of fans are upset to be honest with you, regarding what recently went down for Black Clover, or what didn't go down for Black Clover, shall I say. We'll get into that one. Then, of course, we got some big, really exciting news in the world of Solo Leveling / Bleach related stuff, and you'll understand what I mean by kind of combining the two, which are both really awesome series. But if you've seen or read either of them, then you kind of know what I'm talking about in terms of how great they are. We got a little bit more news in the world of Dragon Ball Super, in particular regarding the recent one-shot / chapter 104 of the manga that a lot of people were highly anticipating, and well, you may or may not be excited about it if you haven't read it yet based on this news. And yeah, we got some stuff to talk about, so without further ado, let's jump into another exciting episode of Forever News, the only news source that provides anything and everything anime and manga related. And we don't bore you, baby, we get into it. Let's do it.
You see right through those things. You see right through those things. You see right through the things I can't do to you.
And of course, before we continue, if you would subscribe and hit that bell, I would greatly appreciate it, and you would get something great out of it because you get notified whenever I drop new videos like this one. That'll notify you on the world of anime and manga. Now, first on the docket of things that I want to talk about today is regarding Black Clover. Now, Black Clover, in case you don't know, fans have been, I don't want to say starved out, because there's definitely been an influx of things courtesy of Yuki Tabata. It feels as though ever since the switch from Weekly Shonen Jump to Jump Giga, it seems as though the powers that be behind the scenes of Shueisha and all the people that are supposed to be supporting Black Clover really haven't been giving it that mega ultimate push, you know, the button, so to speak, that you would expect a series of that caliber like Black Clover to have. Because yeah, recently fans have been very disappointed in what happened, because Black Clover, if I'm not mistaken, came out in 2015. I want to say it was like maybe February, somewhere in that ballpark, February 19th, 20th, Black Clover debut with its first chapter in Weekly Shonen Jump, and that's 10 years. So for starters, big round of applause and big ups to Black Clover. 10 years running. That is no small feat by any stretch of the imagination for a series to run that long, because 99.9% of series that started off with Black Clover are long gone. Like, even its contemporaries are gone. My Hero Academia, gone. Series that started a few years after, like Jujutsu Kaisen, gone. What Black Clover still remains, despite the fact that, again, it switched over from the Weekly Shonen Jump release schedule to Jump Giga, which is a quarterly release. So there's definitely been a lot that has transpired, but nevertheless, to sustain itself for 10 years, to still have a enormous fan base for that matter, when a volume drops, Black Clover still sells very, very well, despite the fact that, again, it seems as though it doesn't have the support that it previously had, on top of the fact that, of course, the anime finished its run, or I guess we would say went on hiatus, because it does feel like at some given point it may return, and it had its film a couple of years back, but it really hasn't had the big mega support that Black Clover once had. And it seems as though not only those things went away, but some of the internal support from Shueisha definitely seems to have, at the very least for now, kind of subsided. And it's unfortunate, because it definitely seems as though some things that were supposed to transpire have not transpired yet. And clear example is for this 10-year anniversary celebration. Fans are upset, disappointed, and a little bit hurt that Black Clover didn't get a major push or a mega anything for that matter for its 10-year anniversary. Fans were probably hoping for an anime return. Fans were probably hoping for something big to come of this, or at the very least, you know, an OVA, a special, something along the lines of that. And it doesn't seem like the powers that be, Shueisha, are giving it that love that it deserves. Let's read. Black Clover anime disappoints fans with major absence. Black Clover has recently crossed over the series' 10-year anniversary, and fans were disappointed in a major way with the lack of any kind of acknowledgement for this huge milestone. Yuki Tabata's Black Clover manga first hit the pages of Shueisha's Weekly Shonen Jump magazine in February 2015, and has now officially turned 10 years old as Tabata continues to work through the final chapters of the series overall. But as fans have pointed out about the series' new milestone, Black Clover has yet to officially acknowledge the fact that it has turned 10 years old and it is getting ready for the end. end. As Black Clover continues through its final arc with new chapters releasing every few months until it all comes to an end, fans were hoping that Shueisha would commemorate the series' 10th anniversary, as it's rare for a manga series to even reach a decade of publication. But unfortunately, the anniversary itself has come and gone without any acknowledgement of the milestone outside of those behind the scenes of the anime celebrating in their own unofficial way. But that's been it, and that's a disappointment. Real quickly, shout out to the people that actually do take it upon themselves, whether it be, you know, some of the staff from the anime. I'm sure Yuki Tabata himself is going to do something. At the very least, he's going to acknowledge, hey, I put in a decade of hard work. I put in a decade of blood, sweat, tears, my soul, mind, and body into this thing. I'm sure Tabata will at the very least acknowledge his own success. And again, shout outs to those people behind the scenes that are also giving a little bit of that hoorah for him. But this is kind of upsetting a little bit, to be honest with you. The powers that be should have done something big for Black Clover's 10th anniversary. Like, come on, dog. Not many make it to that particular point. Very few, in fact, make it. So for him to have made it all this way and they can't do a little something of, like, how about a special chapter in Weekly Shonen Jump? You know what I'm saying? A little small one shot, a little bit of something there to just acknowledge that this man has withstand something that is very brutal. Weekly Shonen Jump is no joke. Publishing in there for year after year is no joke. Continuing to publish manga, period, even following that in Jump Giga, no joke, no game. So the fact that he did all of that and there's not even a peep, it's kind of questionable. Of like, Shueisha, why? Black Clover officially turned 10 years on February 16th. Okay, so February 16th was the official date, as that was the day the very first chapter of the series released, and none of the official socials have seemed to commemorate the date in any way. But not all hope is lost, as the 10th anniversary has just begun, so there is still plenty of time and opportunity for Black Clover to celebrate this occasion. It will likely be started around the release of the next set of chapters in the final arc, which are coming sometime later this spring, but have yet to announce a release date as of the time of this publication. And of course, as Black Clover continues through this final arc of the series, is likely to end within the next year or so, as it's now working its way through the final battle against Lucius Zogratis. As the series ends within the scope of this 10-year anniversary, it's likely that publisher Shueisha will be highlighting both as the end gets nearer than ever. It might not be on the same scope of worldwide celebration as something like My Hero Academia, which also turned 10 towards the end of its run, but it's not as hopeless of a situation as Black Clover fans are painting it as of yet. But the biggest absence of all, unfortunately, continues to be Black Clover's anime. Yeah, let's be very clear. Black Clover's anime is something of a phenomenon. Like the manga, people can say whatever they want, even though 20 million sold. I'll never understand how you crack jokes at 20 million sold. Like, you try selling 20 million of anything at all, and let's see how far you get with that one. You know what I'm saying? While the anime might have gotten off to a rough first impression with fans when it first premiered, it ended its run nearly 200 episodes later with a ton of fans supporting it. Black Clover's anime ended long before the events of the final arc, and fans have been hoping to see a super return from the series ever since, or proper return. But it's been nearly 4 years since any episodes of the series have aired. This is also a reason why fans are anxious about Black Clover's 10th anniversary, as because the manga and anime are currently in an odd schedule, fans who love the series aren't getting to regularly enjoy it. So there was a hope that this milestone would spark some kind of new release, but Black Clover did not have anything to show. So while it's not Shueisha's fault specifically, yes it is, as fans got their hopes up on their own, it ultimately is still a bummer. Why wouldn't fans, what do you expect fans to do? Like, that's what fandom is for, is to be excited about those things, especially the fact that you should always be grateful. Like, if you got fans that are actually supportive and excited about a series or a publication or anything for that matter's milestone, that is something very much so major to, you know, be grateful for. Like ForneverWorld, for example, this channel has just turned its 15th anniversary. You know what I'm saying? Like, big stuff, and so many of you guys have supported and gave congrats and all of that stuff, and I'm very grateful for that. I think you should always show gratitude for just in general the good that comes out of your life, but especially if you got support on that magnitude, that fans are coming together and being like, why no love for Tabata? Like, that is something to be grateful for. And yeah, hopefully, because we're still early on, at the end of the day, it's the 10th anniversary starting this year, and usually Shueisha likes to do things where it could be within that 10th year's anniversary, you know, not just on the date exactly, but within the 10th year anniversary, they will throw in something special. Maybe they might have plans moving forward, but a little bit of acknowledgement would have been, you know, nice. A little bit of acknowledgement goes a long way in terms of, dog, come on, bro. Like, Tabata put in the work. He deserves the accolades. He deserves the love. He deserves the respect. And I'm sorry, but I gotta put on for my guy, because I love Black Clover. I love what Tabata has done with his works, and if My Hero can get all of that love and praise, and at the end of the day, don't get me wrong, I understand numbers wise My Hero was way more successful than Black Clover, still Tabata put in his heart, still Tabata put in all that he needed to do to make his series go, and we're still here, baby. So salute salute to Tabata. We love you, we respect you, and we acknowledge the fact that you put in all those years of hard work. Shout outs to Tabata, people. Throw in the comments something there, just all love to Tabata, because he deserves it. Moving forward, I was really excited to talk about this one. It's an interesting, to a certain degree, story. Maybe some people might find it interesting, or some people might look at it like, but Bleach animator, Bleach animation director in particular, is about to do something awesome, because in case you haven't watched the Bleach 1000-Year Blood War, first of all, what are you doing? go right now, fam. Go watch Bleach. But if you haven't, then let me tell you that Bleach's 1000-Year Blood War, art-wise, direction-wise, animation-wise, has been great. In general, the 1000-Year Blood War has just been phenomenal. It's been incredible. So anybody that has taken part in, contributing to making that anime, the 1000-Year Blood War, as great as it's been, you definitely got to take note of, like, yo, whatever they gonna do next is going to be amazing, because it is straight up talent, straight up raw talent, straight up quality that has been produced. And one of my favorite anime right now, when I tell you how much I am enjoying and I am appreciating the solo leveling anime, I'm not kidding around, I'm not joking around, I'm being honest. Like, I haven't enjoyed an anime like solo leveling in a very long time, and that's that in between solo leveling. I marathoned a new anime, I rewatched Naruto, like I've done a lot in between all of this stuff. But solo leveling right now, it just has my undivided attention, in terms of, like, when a new episode drops, I'm there. I'm loving it and enjoying it. And to hear this news, somebody from the Bleach anime is going to be animating something moving forward for solo leveling. Let's just read this. Action animation director. So the action anime director as well, not just he's directing things like for the action of the Ichigo versus Yuhabaha fight, is working on Jinwoo versus Baran. I ain't gonna lie, this just sounds incredible. This just sounds like it's going to be phenomenal, and I don't doubt it, because first of all, solo leveling hasn't disappointed at all. There hasn't been an episode where I'm like, oh, the quality, like everything looks like fresh, 10 out of 10, just straight up greatness. And then to hear that the action anime director from Ichigo versus Yuhabaha, this right here is going to just take solo leveling to an even further plateau, and it's already up there. Like, it's no secret that solo leveling is blowing up. I didn't even know that there's just so much solo leveling out there, outside of, like, once this series ends, I believe there's actually a sequel series. Like, there is so much solo leveling to come, and I'm sure that they're going to adapt it all. I don't know if the sequel series will be by A1 Pictures, the same people that are doing this, but I say all that to say that this is just yet again great news, and this is why you should have faith in a series when you hear things like this. And this is also why these anime directors deserve the praise that they get, because when you put in that work, when you showcase what you're capable of, yes, please, somebody give this guy his flowers, because I'm betting anything that this is going to be insane, and I'm really much so looking forward to it. Solo leveling has just been a treat. Jinwoo, Chahin, everything about this anime right now is straight up golden, and it wouldn't be me, and I wouldn't be honest with myself if I didn't mention this story, because I love solo leveling, and I also love Bleach, and a director from Bleach is doing solo leveling stuff. So yeah, get excited. And if you're not watching solo leveling, it's not for the faint at heart at first. There's a little bit of some stuff that is like heavy, but if you could get past that, solo leveling is greatness, baby. Straight up greatness. Then in the world of Dragon Ball Super. Now, in case you don't know, the Dragon Ball Super manga has returned, so to speak, with chapter 104, although it was still technically both labeled as chapter 104, but also a special one-shot. I actually read it myself, and while I don't think I'll be doing a review on it, because honestly, it was just a very enjoyable and chill type of chapter. It wasn't anything to write home about in terms of like, oh my god, because it wasn't actually like a sequel chapter per se in terms of the turn of events of this timeline or whatnot. It kind of went back a little bit. It was a prequel to the previous Goten and Trunks superhero stuff. It was basically what gave them the idea to begin with to create the Saiyaman X persona and follow in the footsteps of Gohan. So it was more so just kind of a chill type of chapter, and maybe some fans might be disappointed about it because, well, we'll read this article, but I'm also going to throw my own pushback on how I feel about the chapter. Just not necessarily a review, but just to kind of counteract against what, you know, the news is saying about how people are disappointed about it and all that stuff. Let's read. Dragon Ball Super shares disappointing manga update. Dragon Ball Daima is preparing to bring a series to an end later this month. Yeah, this has nothing to do with Daima, but just roll with it. But the anime adaptation has already blown fans' minds by introducing transformations and characters that shonen fans never thought they'd see. Hot on the heels of Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, Dragon Ball Super's manga is also planning to make a comeback to add the Big Z Fighters news. Yes, it's already out, with a special installment arriving as the 104th chapter of the shonen manga, Dragon Ball Super has some bad news for fans who are waiting for this long-awaited comeback after the tragic passing of creator Akira Toriyama. Again, rest in greatness and power and awesomeness to Toriyama. Initially, the next entry in Dragon Ball Super's manga was billed as a special one-shot, which was then changed to officially be the 104th chapter. I read the chapter, it was labeled as both. Unfortunately, the chapter isn't hinting at when we can expect the manga to continue the Z Fighter story following Goten and Trunks' superhero stint. Chapter 105's release date remains a mystery, and it doesn't appear as though the shonen's return will get Goku and company back on a monthly schedule, with the next installment being seen as a one-off. It will be interesting to see what storylines, if any, are set up to move the Z Fighters forward in their lives. Toriyama had a major hand in creating both Dragon Ball Super Hero and Dragon Ball Daima before his tragic passing last year. Throughout much of Dragon Ball Super's manga history, Toriyama was aided by artist Toyotaro, who played a major role in forging the anime hero's future. In the past, Toyotaro has stated that he worked in conjunction with Akira on past arcs, including the Moro and Granola the Survivor arcs. Most likely, Toyotaro will helm the future of the manga moving forward. One of the biggest elements that have been left hanging in Dragon Ball Super has been Frieza and his new transformation he unleashed during the Granola arc. Now able to transform into Black Frieza, the alien despot was able to defeat both Goku and Vegeta at their strongest with one hit. No word has been revealed regarding what the next arc will look like following Goten and Trunks' one-off, though there's plenty of room to explore. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that there's any reason for fans to be disappointed regarding Dragon Ball Super's latest chapter. First of all, we've been without Dragon Ball Super's manga for a long time. To get anything returning from the Dragon Ball Super story in general, I am grateful to have. I'm just grateful to see more of it, you know what I'm saying? Because they could have easily said, yo, Toriyama passed, no more Dragon Ball, period. The fact that they're giving it whatever, obviously they're a business and there's other agendas behind it, motives and whatnot, financial and all that stuff. But as a fan, as somebody that loves this franchise, this world and these characters, I'm just grateful that we're getting more. So that's first and foremost. And also, I read the chapter and it was a fun little chapter. We did get to see a couple of characters. We got to see Gohan in there. So for all the Daima fans that were disappointed, or Daima watchers in general that were disappointed that we haven't seen Gohan in there, we got a little bit of a cameo of Gohan in there. We got to see little small glimpses of Goku, Vegeta, and you know, they're adults in there. It's not the Daima effect. So there was a lot of stuff about the Dragon Ball Super manga returning with this one shot that I was enjoying. I wasn't expecting from the jump when I heard months back in what, Jump Festa 2025, when I heard that it was going to be returning with this one shot of Goten and Trunks. I knew what to expect with this, you know, little superhero gag thingy and whatnot. I knew that I wasn't going to get Black Frieza off the rip. I would have been going crazy and excited like, whoa, but I wasn't expecting it, and I wasn't like, yeah, this is going to be kicking off from where the last one left off. I went in there with my expectations met, honestly. Like, it was fun, it was enjoyable. I missed seeing this, and it honestly made me even more so be like, I wonder if we're ever going to be able to get to a point where Goten and Trunks actually get to kind of continue on with the potential that they had way back when. Let's not forget that Goten and Trunks were the youngest Super Saiyans of all time, 7 and 8 years old. I would love to see at some given point them pick that back up and, you know, them get to be able to do Super Saiyan 3 themselves, get to be able to do Super Saiyan 4 themselves, get to the God transformation. I would love to see all of that with those characters. So if they are liking it, maybe Shueisha is seeing something that we can't see numbers wise or fandom wise behind the scenes, that there is potential and a small fandom being built for Goten and Trunks. Maybe we could get a spin-off where they actually build up and become something more than just kind of where Dragon Ball Z all those years ago left them off, that like Goten was into girls and Trunks was just there. Like, I'm never expecting for Trunks to ever match the greatness of future Trunks. Like, let's be honest here. Future Trunks went through way more adverse circumstances than this Trunks ever went through. But ultimately, I would like to see these characters as a whole become something more than what we've seen them in the past. And I think the potential is there. If we ever cross over from end of Z territory, the gates is open for them to become amazing characters and get great powers, great development, building them up more. Because as it stands right now, it seems as though I like that Goten still has that childlike nature to him in a way. Like, if you read the chapter, you know that he was excited about the superhero stuff, and Trunks kind of got into it too, even though he has his little, yo, I'm cool, dog, but he still likes his little, you know, nerdy stuff too, and that's okay. So yeah, even though the news is kind of reporting it as like fans are disappointed it didn't kick off or continue on, for me personally, from the ForneverWorld news, I think expectations were met with this, and the only thing I would like is that please continue more with Dragon Ball Super, even if it's these new adventures of Goten and Trunks, until we get back on board and continue off where we left off with the Black Frieza arc. I'm just saying. But that's all I have for this one. I'm Tim. As always, people, have an awesome day. Peace in.
I look at you like, wow, won't you be my babe. You see right through those things, I see right through it too. You see right through the things I cannot say to you.